Brett Scott, Cloudmoney, Cash, Cards, Crypto, and the War for Our Wallets. Welcome to the exciting world of Cloudmoney, where cash, cards, and cryptocurrencies battle for supremacy in our wallets. Brett Scott's book, Cloudmoney, Cash, Cards, Crypto, and the War for Our Wallets, explores the 2008 financial crisis, the rise of Fintech, and the push towards a cashless society. Delve into the consequences of cashless transactions and the interests of powerful financial institutions that drive this change. The book also examines the value of cash and its historical association with social change, the role of cryptocurrencies, and the potential of central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, in shaping the future of finance.
The Great Cashless Illusion. Tracing back to the 2008 financial crisis, there was hope for a fintech revolution that promised to disrupt the banking system, democratize finance, and bring forth a cashless society. However, that revolution has been hijacked by large financial institutions and tech companies, which prioritize their profits and data collection over genuine customer needs. They've used various tactics, including exploiting the COVID-19 pandemic, to push for an accelerated shift towards cashlessness, all while ignoring the true costs and implications for consumers and the economy at large. We begin our journey during the turbulent times of the 2008 financial crisis, when the global economy was thrashing about in the throes of a recession. It was a time when trust in big financial institutions was at an all-time low, thanks to their contributions to the economic crash. Amidst all the chaos, a shining beacon of hope appeared in the form of the first-ever iPhone in 2007, and thus began the fintech boom. The emerging fintech industry was filled with promises of revolutionizing banking, democratizing finance, and paving the way to a cashless society where transactions would be seamless and hassle-free. But as the story unfolds, that initial idealism didn't exactly pan out the way it was imagined. Instead of crushing the existing financial order, big tech morphed into an extension of it. Nowadays, fintech applications like PayPal and others, which were initially envisaged as disruptors, have ended up being nothing more than bridges between our traditional bank accounts. Rather than liberating us from the clutches of powerful financial players, the rise of fintech has instead further entangled their interests within the fabric of our daily lives. One of the main drivers behind this race to a cashless society is a narrative that claims consumers are itching for digital payments, gladly leaving banknotes and coins behind. But digging up the truth reveals that this isn't quite the reality. Hidden beneath the surface lies a top-down push orchestrated by influential financial institutions whose prime motivations are profit and data. Consider a simple cashless purchase at a bar. First, you need to install an app, log in using your Google or Facebook credentials, and involve various corporate entities and banks in the transaction. This seemingly harmless process racks up fees charged by payment intermediaries and reveals your personal information to these corporations, ultimately affecting your digital ad experience. It's important to note that these fees are higher than if you'd carried out a cash transaction, and that your personal data is harvested for future monetization. This certainly doesn't sound like a case for customer-driven demand for cashless transactions, does it? In recent times, the COVID-19 pandemic has presented a golden opportunity for the anti-cash movement to further their agenda. Financial giants have promoted the idea of hygiene concerns regarding cash, pushing businesses to cease accepting cash payments, despite evidence that other surfaces such as card terminals and shopping carts are riskier for virus transmission. But why are the voices of this powerful anti-cash alliance so influential? The answer is simple: money. With hefty resources backing their lobbying and PR efforts, it's difficult to find an equally strong force advocating for the preservation of cash. Central banks generally remain neutral on the matter, leaving consumers and society with much to lose amidst the cashless push, while the financial institutions have everything to gain. In conclusion, the path to a cashless society wasn't shaped by the eager demands of everyday consumers as it may seem, but rather by the desires of powerful institutions seeking to profit from and control the financial landscape. The illusion of an organic shift towards digital payments must be demystified so that we can critically evaluate the true motivations behind the so-called fintech revolution. Cash, the humble hero. Undervaluing cash is a common habit among anti-cash advocates, but this often misunderstood currency has various advantages that keep it relevant in today's digital age. Cash is like the bicycle of the financial world. It might not always be the fastest, but it's reliable and versatile when compared to cashless systems. Despite the push for a cashless society, the tangible nature of cash not only helps working-class people save money but also supports social progress and nurtures creative deviance. While digital payment methods are on the rise, people turn to cash during crises as a reliable safety net. It's crucial that we appreciate the importance of cash in our rapidly changing world. Cash, often overshadowed by the promises of speedy digital transactions, remains an essential piece of the financial puzzle. One could think of cash as a bicycle that rests in the center of the competing forces in a traffic jam. Despite being less efficient than some fancy automobiles, it still holds great merit for being an eco-friendly mode of transportation and preventing air pollution, akin to the trailblazing benefits of cold, hard currency. Back in time, the early innovators of the automobile industry would focus on its cutting-edge advantages while conveniently overlooking its drawbacks, like car accidents. The same trend continues today with banks and payment companies emphasizing digital transaction speed and ease of use, but rarely mentioning its downsides, like surveillance and cyberhacking. The world has witnessed how cash can perform better than digital transactions during times of crisis. For instance, in dire situations like hurricanes, when communication networks are choked, people turn to cash as a trusted method of exchange. Likewise, during the 2008 financial crisis, cash remained steadfast while concerned customers lined up at ATMs, worried about bank failures. This tenacity and resilience reinforced the timeless adage, cash doesn't crash. Alarmingly, future crises may make cash harder to access due to the growing push for cashless payments and the slow death of ATMs. Between 2015 and 2020, there was a 24% decrease in the number of ATMs in the UK alone. The seeming war on cash tends to disproportionately impact working-class and minority individuals who typically rely on cash to navigate capitalist society without being exploited. Unlike credit cards, which can trap users in debt, cash is honest and enables working-class people to save money. Even studies from Visa reveal that individuals tend to spend more when using cards than when operating with cash. The tangible nature of cash makes spending decisions more real, while credit card companies benefit when users fall into debt, raking profits through interest payments. Furthermore, cash has also played a critical role in promoting progressive social change. With its discrete nature, cash facilitated various previously illegal activities, such as homosexuality, interracial relationships, and the illicit substance trade. Historical examples like Prohibition reveal that while alcohol consumption might have been illegal, it wasn't undesirable. Essentially, it coexisted in a gray area supported by cash. In more recent times, the medical marijuana movement would not have been possible without cash, as it has allowed the industry to survive and thrive. Cash remains crucial for enabling disruptive climate activism and other subversive activities. The creeping prevalence of cashless transactions makes it easier for governments to monitor citizens' financial activities, ultimately suppressing dissent and curtailing social progress. However, amidst the current global turmoil, be it from pandemics, war, or climate catastrophes, cash still remains a shining beacon of hope. People around the world are once again drawn to the stability and comfort that cash provides, allowing them to store its value beneath their mattresses, as opposed to the unreliable and faceless world of digital transactions. We must not let our appreciation for cash wane in the face of technological advancements. Its ability to act as an intermediary force, counterbalance financialized capitalism growth, and support social change makes it a currency worth defending. Cash empowers individuals to assert their autonomy in financial matters, staying true to the authentic human connection without involving middlemen who profit at every turn. Beyond cryptocurrency, CBDCs. In the ongoing battle against big tech and big finance, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies once held the potential to create an alternative payment system. However, due to various reasons, they have failed to replace traditional currency. Central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, on the other hand, offer new hope in this fight. By allowing citizens to hold digital accounts with their central banks, they can eliminate fees, make direct payments more accessible, and introduce concepts like universal basic income. Some countries are already developing CBDCs, but state surveillance concerns must be addressed, possibly by combining CBDCs with private blockchain systems for privacy and true digital cash value. Once, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies were seen as potential weapons against big tech and big finance's grip on our wallets. Introduced in 2008 by the enigmatic Satoshi Nakamoto, Bitcoin's original purpose was to serve as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Unfortunately, cryptocurrencies haven't fulfilled their original promise due to several factors. First, proponents have been divided between using it as digital cash or converting it into digital gold. The latter group has ultimately triumphed, reducing cryptocurrencies to speculative digital assets. Secondly, cryptocurrencies fail as a means of account, with prices still tied to traditional fiat currencies like the dollar. Cryptocurrencies' fluctuating nature further discourages their widespread adoption. While cryptocurrencies have stumbled, central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, emerge as a promising alternative in challenging big tech and big finance. CBDCs work by allowing citizens to have digital accounts with their central banks, such as the Federal Reserve in the US, instead of commercial banks. This system can offer transformative benefits. Notably, since central banks aren't profit-driven, CBDC transactions can eliminate payment fees, leading to lower prices. CBDCs also simplify the process of direct payments from the state to households, opening doors for universal basic income implementation. Furthermore, compared to funds held in commercial banks or services like PayPal, CBDC accounts provide better security against loss caused by bank failures. Countries like Sweden and China are currently implementing CBDC systems, with others contemplating similar initiatives. However, like existing digital payment systems, CBDCs in their current development stage raise concerns regarding state surveillance of financial activities. Addressing this issue requires innovative solutions, such as combining CBDCs with private blockchain systems. This could offer the anonymity found in cryptocurrencies while enabling people to hold state-backed digital money in private accounts. An anonymized CBDC has the potential to break the control that commercial banks exert over our lives by offering true digital cash. It doesn't mean eliminating the banking industry, rather, the two systems could coexist, like bikes and cars sharing the road. In summary, central bank digital currencies present a compelling alternative to cryptocurrencies in the struggle against big tech and big finance. As countries pursue the development of CBDCs, combining privacy and state backing could offer a new frontier in financial freedom and disrupt the status quo held by traditional banks.
In conclusion, Brett Scott's Cloudmoney highlights the importance and threats of moving towards a cashless society, where powerful financial institutions benefit from data and profit through transactions. Although digital alternatives like cryptocurrencies and CBDCs offer viable options, there are still concerns regarding the loss of autonomy, privacy, and potential for surveillance. It is crucial to strike a balance between digital advancements and preserving traditional monetary systems, like cash, which empowers individuals against the growing influence of big tech and big finance. Defending cash promotes economic freedom, social change, and a more inclusive society where individuals can interact organically without relying on middlemen.